The theory that human civilization existed only for the past 1 million years may not be completely true, for the simple reason that the formation of the earth itself is about 5 billion years as per the scientific evidence. So for a period of 4.999 billion years, having no human activity, it is simply not this is simply beyond comprehension. It cannot be comprehended. So there must have been some human activity, and this was well supported by scriptures like Ramayana, and it was discussed the ability of superhuman capabilities that were exhibited during the time, that is Kamarupa and beyond genetics, etc. Now the next question is, does it mean the current scenario the humans have lost the Kamarupa trait, or is it possible to exhibit Kamarupa technique in the current scenario? More fundamentally, is it possible to act beyond genetics in the current world? The answer is absolutely yes. Let's analyze this a little bit further. It was mentioned soul is beyond the cycle of birth and death and is a pure energy entity, a tiny radiating point source. Imagine this tiny radiating source residing in Muladhara, growing in size, extending either direction, filling the entire human body. Now the entire human body is filled with only soul presence, the soul energy and soul radiation. This was essentially how the evolved souls in early part of universe operated. Of course, there were cases of misuse also. In this state, when the soul radiation has engulfed the entire body, no task was impossible for such a physical body. The normal humans in current world may think this kind of act as a miracle. However, the super soul feels the same about the constant failures of normal soul, assuming the body. The feeling is mutual, isn't it? They think it is a miracle how this human, failing every time, attempts to commit same mistake so consistently. How do we explain mathematician Ramanujan unraveling the mysteries of number theory? Isn't it a miracle? He must have operated beyond genetics. How do we explain the intellectual depth of Albert Einstein, perhaps the greatest physicist of 20th century? The same goes for Tyagaraja, Potana, etc. The greatest inventions and discoveries, the breakthrough technologies, etc. were made in a state of beyond genetics. Each one of us must have experienced a miracle at least once in our lifetime. This has happened when our soul energy engulfed the entire body, literally seizing on to the faculties and senses, steering the act of karmacharana in a unique direction of soul's choice. This was manifested as miracle. When the ever-expanding soul energy is masked, we cannot penetrate deep enough into the physical world. We fail to perceive uh, or we fail to perceive the finer details, as well as we definitely cannot go beyond physical realm. Therefore, although we are limited by 24 chromosomes, there was a beckoning for us to exhibit our true soul characteristics. The door of spiritual treasure is always open for us to explore and get super saturated. Welcome to the 177th episode of Lalitha Sahasranam Stotra. Next nama is Mahakamesanayana Kumuda Hlada Kaumudi. Adulthood of 7th generation Kalyana human, exhibiting the youthful exuberance. The 7th generation Kalyana human, through the Nama Vidya Swarupini, was being trained in Vamachara, Dakshinachara, Samayachara, witness mode operation, as well as soul-driven Karmacharana. He has also attempted Tamoguna, Rajoguna dominant Karmacharana, and when these are saturated, also attempted Sattva-guna based Karmacharana in a soul-driven mode of operation. As a consequence, the soul energy gets enriched. His soul enhanced its power of intent or Sankalpa Bala, and now equipped to control the extent of usage of Tamoguna and Rajoguna. His soul is firmly positioned in Muladhara as he enters a crucial phase of adulthood, and that is described by Mahakamesanayana Kumudahlada Kaumudi. Who was this Mahakamesha? Kama is the fire element of desire, or the personality keen to exhibit the Karmacharana or action. The custodian or root energy of Kama in Uttarayana Dakshinayana cycle is Manmadha, or Cupid of love. Let's return back to the spectacular event that happened during previous world on planet Mars. The Mahayogi, 1 in trillion, and the most evolved soul in Mars, who performed a ritual known as Mahayaga and who was instrumental in aligning all the living beings, paved the way for end of world in Mars. The Mahayogi controlled the Kama or the desires of all the living beings through his subordinates, who themselves were enlightened people. Mahayogi was the custodian or root of all the desires in previous world. In a way, when the Mars world terminated, all the living beings along with their baggage of desires or Kama terminated into Mahayogi, as they were magnetically aligned to him. This treasure of Kama of Mars world subsequently, after the termination of Mahayogi, stored in his faculty of mind. Manmadha, or Cupid of love, was having a physical form in Mars planet. So his form was also merged into Mahayogi faculty of mind due to the magnetic storm when the Mars world got terminated. The faculty of mind of Mahayogi in turn transformed as Manuvidya. Manuvidya extended across the planet or operated in what is known as Grahayana. The energy of Manuvidya, when manifests in Paschimayana Purvayana and Uttarayana Dakshinayana, translated as Manmadha energy. Therefore, faculty of mind of Mahayogi, who operated in an erstwhile world consisting of desires of Grahayana, Paschimayana Purvayana, as well as Uttarayana Dakshinayana cycles of newly formed planet Earth. The custodian of faculty of mind of Mahayogi or custodian of Manovidya is Mahakamesha. Maha means beyond the measurement or beyond the measurable yardstick. Therefore, Mahakamesha is the cupid of love that can grant boons to enrich one's personality in their desires. Mahakamesha energy can draw boons from all the way from interplanetary post to Paschimana Purvayana cycle as well as Uttarayana Dakshinayana cycle. By connecting to Mahakamesha energy source, one can get saturated in Kama in quickest possible time. Such a powerhouse of desires, Mahakamesha, was activated in 7th generation Kalyana human. Nayana means eyes. Mahakamesha Nayana, Kumudahlada Kaumudi, means having radiant eyes and expression of bliss and contentment like a blossomed flower. This state is fully blossomed adulthood, a youthful exuberance. The Mahakamesha energy penetrating throughout the body of 7th generation Kalyana human, including its faculties and senses. This energy is saturated in his body to such an extent that his eyes were sending, and his eyes were radiant, sending the love waves of love and affection. Since the 7th generation Kalyana human was an evolved soul known as Hiranyagarbha, his body was filled with the radiation of Mahakamesha. Mahakamesha is the highest form of cosmic energy and a personification of universal Father. When such highest form of energy enters into physical body, any number of desires can be fulfilled. At this juncture, the witness elements in the body steps in to regulate the flow of this Mahakamesha energy by restoring Sivasakta Samarasya, the harmony of north and south bound forces. Because 7th generation human is able to fulfill his desires, the witness mode elements were happy and expressing their happiness as bliss and contentment. This is because universe is marching forward, and that is reflected by Kumuda Ahlada Kaumudi. Therefore, the root cause for being blissful is contentment, and contentment comes from saturation. If we taste sumptuous meal with a wide variety of menu items, we are content and we express our happiness and gratitude. Even to the extent we bless the host. Here the menu items were drawn from interplanet post to Paschimana Purvayana to Uttarayana Dakshinayana. So no surprise in seeing the bliss and contentment in the 7th generation human. The 7th generation human was born with the energy of witness mode operation as elucidated in Swatmanandara Vibhuta Brahma Dhyananda Santatihi. At that time, Universal Mother expressed her happiness as universe was marching forward in shaping up a new soul. Now the 7th generation human is reaching adult stage and was well appreciated by Universal Father in Kumudahlada Kaumudi, Mahakamesha Nayana Kumudahlada Kaumudi. Let us examine how many characteristics does the 7th generation human is having in the next episode. Thank you very much.